Hey folks, I was just setting my Weber kettle up to smoke some beef short ribs. I'm going to smoke those for a few hours. Then I'm actually going to put them in some beef broth and some vegetables and braise them for a little while. So I want you to stay tuned to this video. I'm going to show you how this turns out. This is a recipe you don't want to miss. So my prep is going to be very simple. I'm just using a little garlic salt. This is sort of my go-to for beef. I'm going to hit all of them with this and just want to make sure I get it all over them. All right, those can take a little seasoning too, so don't be afraid to put some on there. And the other thing that I'm doing is hitting these with some black pepper, and I'm using a grinder. I'm freshly grinding mine. You don't have to do this. The coarser the pepper, the better, in my opinion. I'm using a blend here actually that's got several different kinds of pepper in it. And I'll take each one of the ribs and just kind of go around and with the edges and pick up some of the salt and the pepper that's on the board too. That way I don't waste it, and that also helps me make sure they're evenly seasoned. Now I'll go ahead and take those back down and put them on my grill. I went ahead and set that up with some good lump charcoal, and I used some pieces of oak. If you got some hickory, any kind of good hardwood's going to work. I think oak goes really good on beef, and I'm going to put those on there and try to keep the temp around 225, 250, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I'm going to put some good smoke on these for at least 2 hours before we move on to the next step. So let's get them on the grill. Wait till you're getting a nice thin blue smoke before you put these on. Again, temp probably around 250-ish. I'm going to spread these out just a little bit more. I've got the bottom being half open, top being will probably be half open, and we'll let these go for at least a couple hours and I'll check on them. So these guys have been smoking for about 2 hours. So I'm going to take my skillet, melt a little bit of butter, and I'm going to saute just for a couple minutes some onions and some portobello mushrooms. You could actually do this part inside or use a little gas burner or something, but I've got quite a bit of charcoal left, and I actually want to bring the temp of the grill up just a little bit for this next step anyway. So I'm not going to cook these very long at all, just maybe a couple minutes. We'll hit these with just a little bit of soy sauce. Don't go too heavy unless you're using the low sodium kind, and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, about that much. Now I'm just going to go ahead and place my ribs, my short ribs here in the skillet, just like that. I'm going to add about a quart of beef broth. I'm going to scoot this over to the other side. I might spill a little bit of my broth. This flame will go back down once I put the lid on it here. And I'm putting the lid on here. I borrowed a lid from a Dutch oven. I was afraid that it would be too tall, so I'm going to use my skillet. If you don't have a skillet with a lid, just use some aluminum foil. Now when I did that on the grill, my wood that I had on there, my charcoal, started getting out of hand just a little bit. You just have to be careful. You could actually do that part, like I said, inside on the stove or maybe on a little gas burner or something of that nature. But I put my lid back on there, and I'm going to open the vents up. I want the heat to come up just a little bit and the temperature inside the grill, and I'm going to let these braise for a couple hours. I'll check on them, may let them go as high as 3 hours. Oh man, those are falling off the bone. That's exactly what I was looking for. There's the bone for one of them. I'm going to take them out of here and thicken this liquid up just a little bit, and these will be ready to eat. Come on, bone. So I moved the skillet over above the fire so I could pick up some direct heat, and I put a couple tablespoons of flour in there. I actually put mine in dry. It's better if you'll mix it with a little water first. That way you don't end up with some lumps. But it's coming out pretty decent. I'm gonna let this cook down just another couple minutes. It's getting thicker already. And I'll take this off and it'll be ready to take these in and serve them. I fixed me some mashed potatoes off camera. I'm just gonna put these on top of the mashed potatoes. Should be enough right now. And I'm gonna spoon just a little bit of this gravy on here. Trying to get a little bite with everything, with the meat, potatoes, the mushrooms, onions, and the gravy. Folks, that's delicious. When you braise meat, you generally will sear it first and then put the liquid in and braise it for a few hours. But instead what we did here was we smoked it, which of course give it some delicious flavor. You're not going to get anywhere else. That oak and good hardwood charcoal really did it some justice. It's delicious. I just thickened up the juices at the end and made a gravy. It already had some mushrooms and onions in it. I hope you'll give this a try. This is something that took me about 4.5 hours. I smoked them for 2 hours and then I braised them for 2.5 hours. So it's, you know, something you can do on a Saturday, and it's very good. But I appreciate y'all checking out this video. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless you. Down here is a good boy that's hoping I'll drop a bite, and I definitely will share with him.